Final Fantasy and Tomb Raider, like, just, I couldn't put it in my head. What's going on, Avengers? Okay, so 4 years ago to the day, Marvel's Avengers teaser trailer was dropped. If you remember this trailer, it was super CG, high quality, and it just panned over some gauntlets of Iron Man, Thor's hammer, and stuff like that. You had like a Kamala Khan insert there. But anyways, I was going through my Facebook earlier and it came across a memory, and that was one of the memories, and I just kind of wanted to recount the moment that I saw this trailer and what I felt whenever I saw this, and kind of where the game's point is here and now. So like from 2017 to all the way to 2021, seeing that trailer, what was going on with me and how I initially viewed this game and what I thought it was going to be or didn't think it was going to be. All right, and with that being said, let's do this.
They say the time of heroes is over. That if you're different, you're dangerous. But I know the truth. The world will always need heroes. We just need to reassemble.
Pretty good. Oh man, that was 4 years ago. Okay, I remember that day. I remember seeing it and watching it and telling my friends about it, and I remember how unexcited they were about it. They're like, oh yeah, I saw that. It was pretty cool. And I was like, whoa, what? No way. See, okay, so these were questions raised right off the bat, even as a naive young chap who didn't know any better. So like the moment I saw this, I just really liked how the graphics were, the CG, I just knew it was CG, you know what I mean? And like no gameplay, so what do you expect, right? But the moment these dudes popped up, I was like, WTF. What is Square Enix, the guys behind Final Fantasy? Like, I'm just coming off of Final Fantasy 15 at the time, I kind of recall this. You know, a year prior to this release, Spider-Man, PS4, and like Civil War came out. So like, and like X-Men Apocalypse kind of. So that's kind of like in the mainstream what was going out in Marvel. I just remember seeing this and I was excited that an Avengers game was announced. But the moment I saw this, Square Enix, and I was like, oh, I'm seeing heavy Final Fantasy look because of the CG or whatever. I don't know. And then this right here, Crystal Dynamics. I knew these dudes did Tomb Raider. And I remember playing Tomb Raider and I really liked Tomb Raider. So Final Fantasy and Tomb Raider, like, just, I couldn't put it in my head and I did not know what to expect. And I couldn't. All I know is that Crystal Dynamics did Legacy of Kain back in the day, and I liked that. And I liked Tomb Raider as well, so I was like, okay. But then Square Enix with the Final Fantasy, like, I was like, okay. But, I mean, it looks super good. Just, like, look at Cap's shield shining right there. I mean, it looks good. It's just, like, a minute-long trailer. It's no big deal, but this is the trailer that gets you hyped. All right, and the context makes much more sense now that we have played the game and all the like stuff coming together. It looks good. Reassemble because they broke up. Okay, I like that. Very cool, but like I said, it doesn't surprise me the position that we're in, I guess, due to these questions that I had early on. You know, because I couldn't even make up an Avengers game on how it would go with all these different kinds of characters, besides like an Ultimate Alliance type of game where it's like maybe if you like, because I was also thinking Square Enix and Final Fantasy, so maybe it's like one of those semi-turned, somewhat fast kind of games. Like I don't know, at the time I just didn't know what to expect. And lo and behold, look at the position that we're in now. I also found an article published a day later by gamesindustry.biz. They spoke to the head of Marvel Games, Jay Ong, and he says, by partnering with Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal, we are now working with two of the industry's most talented and respected game development studios to bring Marvel stories to life in ways our fans have never experienced. The Avengers project is a perfect example of how Marvel is making games a key part of the landscape for Marvel storytelling, alongside comics, television, and film. We can only do this by matching our greatest superheroes with the world's top developers, such as the creative minds at Square Enix. The article goes on and it's talking about licensed IP and how it's usually low quality because they're trying to rush the product to get it out for the movie or the TV show. But then at the end there, it states, however, Warner Brothers has shown the business recently that with some strong investment and a willingness to release the game when it's ready, then significant returns can be made, as demonstrated by Lord of the Rings tie-in, Shadow of Mordor, and the Batman Arkham series. I'm an avid believer that in about a year's time, Marvel's Avengers game will be a good game. It'll be full of content, full of characters, and all that jazz. But now, as a player who has played the beta up until now, it has been a rough trip. I expect the game to at least go on up until Spider-Man. So at least up until that full roster of characters is out. If that game was released and I haven't played it, then I would be somewhat impressed. I would have my expectations filled, and I would probably feel like it's a good game. But to go off the article real quick, the game was supposed to release in a May time period, I think, and then it was delayed to September. To be quite honest, I wouldn't have cared if it was delayed until January 2021. I wouldn't have cared. Out of sight, out of mind. If they just kept on doing delays and delays, that would have raised suspicion for sure. Like, why does this game keep getting delayed? And what's going on with this game? Oh no, it might not fall through. But by the time it was released, it would have had what the fans were expecting. A character in a smooth, consecutive release state. The bugs would have been fleshed out. These bigger contents like Omega level threats and cloning labs would have been good to go and ready for us as they were to be releasing on schedule. They would have had it prepped. But I do say constantly, another delay for this game probably would have done them good. And I think, just to mention another point on that article, is that WB owns Rocksteady, so WB basically has a direct connection to their game developers. In this case, I know Square Enix is involved with Marvel because they do the Disney stuff with Kingdom Hearts and what have you, but I think then you have the next step, which is Crystal Dynamics as the developer, so it's more like Marvel has a guy that knows a guy that can make video games. But in WB's case, it's WB knows the guy who can make video games. So in that case, the line of communication is much more direct. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to take a trip down memory lane and just kind of size up what my expectations were and how hype I was back then and what it is now. And I must say it is quite different now than what I expected it to be. But the past is the past, and the future is now, and it looks a little imperfect. Now, for this latter half, I'm going to tell you guys what I expect to see from Marvel's Avengers game. What activity do I expect to see to make the game better? I expect any update or patch that comes in by itself or with another piece of content, and in that update, I expect the dailies to be fixed. This is going to be the obvious stuff that makes the game a minor annoyance. Dailies to be fixed, the enemies going through walls or dying in the air, starting a mission 1,000 feet in the air needing to fly to my teammates, any outfit or skin problems, or anything in the game that causes me to restart my checkpoint or to leave the mission entirely. It's hard to give a time frame to know when to expect this stuff due to the lack of transparency from the devs, but maybe the devs are kind of changing their mindset and saying that we need to just put our heads down and work. Let's not say anything. Talk is cheap, and let's give them one big go the next time we update the game or the next type of word that we give. Who knows? Who knows? Thursdays, still your typical war blog, which I don't know if people really enjoy because it's just a lot of the same information that you get from opening up the game. Plus, having no word on the dev stream, it's kind of hard to guess or to speculate when this stuff will come out. How soon is soon, basically, is what I'm asking. Anyways, back to the content. So campaign replay, I do feel like it will be fun replaying the campaign, maybe with my friends at high level stuff. I don't know how much of a priority it is to the majority of fans, but it's okay to me. I do expect Omega level Hive missions with either Super Adaptoid or to reach on a wishful shooting star, MODOK maybe, to bounce off of Omega level missions. If you've noticed that for the past few weeks, we've had Kate Bishop's story missions, and right now we are on Private Eye. So next week will be Little Hits, and the following week will be Family Reunion, and Family Reunion is the mission where you fight the Super Adaptoid at the end. So when that becomes our priority mission, we will be able to play that mission as a multiplayer mission. So maybe that's what they're leading up to, who knows? And also, of course, the infamous cloning labs. I'm really interested in the cloning labs. I think that might be a thing that this game needs to get juiced up a little bit with the fans, to be playing a difficult, intuitive type of mission with unique gear rewards. Who knows? Who knows? These are the kind of things I'm expecting. And then, of course, Hawkeye with Future Imperfect. To me, that's how ideally I think it would work, or should work, at least, if I knew any better. I don't know. So yeah, guys, I mean, we'll see what this week's reset has to say, or how that's going. We'll see. The skins, I guess, is the only cool thing that's happening with the game, to be quite honest. Meeting new people, that's always a thing as well. So anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I just thought it was a good little tidbit to share this week about the 4-year anniversary of the teaser trailer and where we are now. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a good one. I'm Machine Gun Mike, out.